10 minutes late is better than no minutes late. 10 minutes late is better than no minutes late. 10 minutes late. 10 minutes late is better than no minutes late. That's kind of what we're looking for on a Sunday. So, just it is what it is. Oh. Montreal Sparky, I see we have a member of the Crack Sticker Club. Yeah. We're creating monsters out of the tradespeople on Instagram. It's like NASCAR, right? Yeah. Yeah, I got out of bed. I sleep in these things. Milwaukee, close to my heart, right? Because a little off to the left, but, yeah. Yeah, no kidding. That's pretty cool, eh? And then for the Canadian guys, you know what we're going to do, eh, Montreal Sparky? We just got these two. These are the Canada 150 badges. Yeah. Yeah, real plumbers sleep in their work clothes. Especially service plumbers. And here's a tip for you young fuckers out there too. Back into your service stalls, always. Back your car in. Because in an emergency, right, you turn the key and drive away. My God. I was going to put a beater on, but I'm like, just a little tattoo, just working in my yard, right? It's my Sunday. Yeah, so the trick of the turbo tip of the day is we work for district called the Resort Municipality of Whistler. Back in. You get shit if you don't back in, because there was a girl killed about. Yeah, of course there was a girl killed about. Shit, I was probably a second year apprentice, so probably we're going damn near 20 years ago, and a company they were backing out, and she got pinched in between two trucks, and had that company backed in. They did all the math on the why she died, all the stuff. So then what happens is, boom, she didn't back in. Right? Jaden Reynolds 1500 is the best snake made, in my opinion. Yeah, I know I'm old. It's the gray hair. Yeah, the 1500 is probably the best. Nice, M. Todd, you got the TP sticker in the mail? Yeah. Look, man. Okay, so we probably got enough people on. So the concept of what what I was gonna discuss today, because it's my forum on the World Plumbers, warranty work. So quick shout out, 2 things I want from everybody online. Where's everybody from, and how many guys in your company? Like all around the States, I would assume Canada, right? So, Jaden, how many guys work in your shop? And where's everybody from? Quick blast across. Are we in Florida? Are we Connecticut, Arizona, through the States, Ontario, Montreal, obviously. So, give me something. 8 guys. Mississippi, 5 guys. Yeah, probably most of the guys are going to be probably 5, maybe 3 to 10 guys. Probably is the average, right? Peterborough. Yep. UK, just me. Yep. Ohio, 12 people. So check it out, right? See what's going on. Hespera, California, 5 techs. Yep. San Diego, 30 guys. No shit, last minute Manny. Ontario, 4 service guys. Indiana, 25, 30 mainly construction. Excellent. Okay, so you can see the spread. We got a variety of guys. Most guys, if you're looking at it. Scotland, what up? That's pretty cool. Vivid Illumination, 30 guys. Thompson family. Ontario. So you look at where we're at, right? Newfoundland, we've got a Newfie on. Awesome. Vancouver, about 70. Yeah, that's a big company. Some big company. Majority of you look online, we got, say, in between 2 to 5 guys. Service, new install, all this kind of stuff, right? So 86 trucks, no shit. Well, in big cities, right? That's what you should have. But I'm like, you got the different districts and stuff like that. The travel time in those big cities must be absolutely killer with the bullshit that goes on with traffic and stuff. So what I want to discuss today was the forum aspect of this is, what's your warranty policy? So the company would say, we'll pick a company with 12 guys. Okay? You get 12 guys. We separate them all. Even the guy with 300. The 300 company and the 100 company, 100 crew, 70 trucks, this kind of stuff. Those guys probably have a manual, right? So they probably have a book. But the staff are probably fairly ignorant on the warranty policy. You talk to the guys, separate them all in a room like the FBI were questioning you guys, and ask them, what's your warranty policy on your install? You install a toilet, it leaks. Who pays for it? What's the time frame? Some of the guys say 20 days, 30 days, 6 months, a month, a year, 5 years. And what's a reasonable warranty period? Do you go manufacturer's warranty? If you install Class A, worries about PEX, right? So, but be grim if I take your guys, right? I take the guys in your shop and I separate them all and ask what the warranty period is. I bet you I'm going to get a different answer from damn near every guy. Most companies don't really have a clear warranty policy on what the policy is. Most people, and not all, there's people chirping, right? So we got 1 year, right? 1 year labor, 1 year labor warranty, 30 days stoppage. So tankless 8 years. I mean, most of the manufacturer's warranty is what's going to default, right? No work warranty. Yeah, it's a concrete guarantee. As soon as your truck leaves the concrete, right? So Oman Plumbing, I used to give a 1 year warranty for your company work, 1 year parts, labor, 9 on clearing drains, 1 year after job turns over. So, right, you look at all of the different stuff, right? And so for us, I'm like, what we talk about is what's a reasonable warranty? Is it a year? When we do a drain clean, we do a hydrojet we do a one flush of the toilets. We can't take the manufacturer's warranty. Like for instance, Wurzbo Class Apex. The warranty on an all Wurzbo installed system is 25 years. 25 years. Any failure, they pay for everything. They pay for the paint, the drywall, the plumber, the restoration guy, everything. Most comprehensive warranty in the industry. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Reha is the same thing. So all of these different things, these all matter to a client. When you sell your warranty, you sell your quality, right? No PECs allowed in your city. Yeah, it's interesting. King of Trades, what is that? King of Trades, we'll do a quick shout out to King of Trades. It's like, it's raining stickers. What a pain in the ass. We're going to have to give all these away thanks to you, right? So, yeah. We offer, when we do a drain clean, we do a 1 year. I'll give you a 1 year guarantee. There's no drain going to back up. No drain's going to back up within a year if you did your job. Now that being said, well, there's all my hats and all the stickers. That's coming, but that's not these guys, right? Oop nor here, yeah. Class Apex is the way to go. And Ryan only gave me 2 World of Plumbers stickers, so I think, I don't know, we're gonna work on that. I got some World of Electrician stickers though. These are in demand, so we were sending these out, right? Turbo Plumbing World of Electricians. So what we did is, when we do a drain clean, so we'll do a complex, we'll do a jet of a hotel, we'll do all the lower laterals. I'll go and video the whole thing. I will do a jet, and they're round obviously because you can see there's no border on them, which is not weird, but they're a white sticker, right? So you can see that angle. Is HeatLink classified as Class Apex? It is. HeatLink is. However, the HeatLink is not approved for potable. It's just not rated for potable. Guaranteed it's going to hold the pressure and all that, but HeatLink won't give you that classification for that Class A. It is Class Apex, but they won't give you the cert for it. So 25-year warranty on piping. It's a little bit more money for Wurzbo. The brass fittings are stupid, like they're ridiculous. We don't put them in. We put an engineered plastic. So the warranty period is the key. We do a jet job, say $15,000-$20,000 for a hotel. I'll give them a 1 year guarantee. There's a backup. I say this in our company: if it's me, it's free. If there's something we've done wrong, me. Okay, Mr. Tunes. We've done. Here's what's neat about ProPress. I don't know if everybody, but everybody in the northern part of the climate, if you go to work on some frozen water piping that's expanded, a little bit pudgy, where it swells a little bit, I've hammered ProPress on that. The pH of our water system in our community of where I live is 5.2. And if you don't know much about water chemistry, that's extremely acidic. It's low on the potential hydrogen scale, so it eats copper. We see copper at about the 7-year mark here, where you can't press it anymore. The integrity of the pipe is gone. And if I do a crimp, the people will call back. They're like, hey, in 6 months, they're like, hey. Yeah. Well, no, sorry. Yeah. King of Trades is on here, because I was on the World of Electricians feed, right? So hold on a second. These are because we're on the World Plumber site, right? So, yeah, Plumber King of Trades. Plumbers. Oh my God, same thing. Sticker shock. Those guys right now, as soon as you get up off the floor, we're gonna do a contest so you can win some of this shit. I know this is the World Plumbers. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, because I jump around, right? So I switch. I go from Abel's site to Ryan's site. So I'm like, ah. So here's a good example of the warranty stuff, right? So manufacturer's warranty. Now, here's a quick question for you. Some plumbers on the feed. What is the warranty? What's the warranty for an American Standard toilet? Let's pick an American Standard Champion because it's going to be relevant in about 3 seconds here. Once somebody answers, what's the warranty without googling it? Because everybody's got Google. But does anybody know what the warranty on the mechanics of an American Standard Champion toilet is? The flush mechanism, you know, the shitty towers they made. 5 years. Okay. We'll wait for a couple answers. We're not going to get all crazy. And if people are Googling it, they're going to get the answer, of course. What is the mechanism warranty inside of an American Standard toilet? Everybody, if you've retrofit those American Standard Champion towers, holy fuck, they're complicated, man. They got moving parts and linkages and, right? 2. Okay. We got 5. 5 on the table. 1 year. Haven't got the right answer yet, obviously. They're like, stickers are like crack. 2 years. Okay, it is. Well, warranty. Okay, so what's the warranty, right? Not guarantee. What's the warranty on the mechanism inside? You fuck it up, you break it. How long does the mechanism? It doesn't last forever. Not lifetime. The warrantable items of the moving mechanism inside of an American Standard Champion toilet is 10 years. That flush tower, right? So has anybody retrofit any? Has anybody refit any of them? Those you remember you'd flush it, it would bang, right? So. This one's brand new. Oh, look. Ooh, baby. 10 years. Okay, so here's what you do when you call up for the tower. Now, this is obviously a redesigned flush mechanism. This is the flush tower now, out of a Champion. Right? So when you lift up now, that lets all the water go. In that guy. That's pretty cool. Look right there. I like that. So that's the new tower. Okay. So 10 years. 2 in the last month. Yeah. Well, because they start failing after whatever duration. Now you flip the tank over and it's got a tag number inside of it. You give them that number and they'll send you one of these. So we were replacing a shitload of these. Right. So I was starting to do a lot of these. So what I did is I called the company. I'm like, hey, you know, I love your product. First off, American Standard, I've got them in my house. Not that I'm the fucking be-all end-all god of plumbing, but they're the best flushing performance toilet of anything I've ever used. There's some, Kohler makes a couple power assist toilets that are awesome. Not hanging on anybody's toilets. There's some great product out there. But the American Standard Champion is the best flushing mechanism I've ever seen. And this tower and the large trapway is the key for me. They're not cheap toilets, but they never plug. We've had hotels here change out to them, like 500 toilets, a tractor trailer of toilets show up. So, American Standard, you make a phone call, give them that serial number inside, and they'll mail you one of these. No bitching, no whining, no moaning. How easy is that? Okay? So that's one of these guys. Now let's pick a company that's difficult. So this is where we tie into the whole warranty of what we warranty, what as a responsible human being, what do you think a good warranty is on your work, right? So, and Abel's on from World of Electricians, so you got the same kind of thing going on too, right? So, what's the warranty on your work, and how long will you go good for it? We do, there's companies that do parts and labor, and then here's the comedy. Labor for where? Do they pick the cheapest city in the country? You know, if electrician or plumber's labor rate is like $40 an hour in Winnipeg, Manitoba, or let's pick a city in the States, Louisiana, right? Say in New Orleans, it's $40 an hour. Are they going to give you a 3-hour labor credit to change it out? Or if your labor rate is $150 an hour, it takes 3 hours. Are they going to pay yours? We need, like, from a warranty, what is the reasonable, acceptable amount? Right? Where do we come off with that? How does that work out? So, and it's really relevant when, not you make a mistake, but when something breaks, right? Maybe I want to run to my truck. If everybody wants, will everybody wait 2 seconds while I run to my van? I'll bring up another example of what's a warrantable item and how long should it last for. I got something in my truck that I can show you guys as well. So don't leave. I'll be back in like literally. What do I put up? Can I put a hat? Look at a turbo plumbing hat for 2 seconds while I run to my van because it's right outside. I'll be right back. So you guys chat to each other. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, I know. I had to go to my truck. Last minute, Manny, I did run. Okay, here's another example of what we've got going on from the electrician probably won't know, but check out my page, everybody. I love it. Who can tell me what this is? What are these? I got some plumbers on the feed, right? What is this off of? Very common item. Almost every house has got one. Almost, because if your pressure is not high enough, you don't need one of these. And 90 psi is the 90 psi is the acceptable amount. Water meter fitting, close. There we go. Michael Bulkey. Michael Bulkey, if you send me your address, direct message me, I'll send you a sticker. How's that? It is a union nut off of a pressure regulator. I'll send you a couple of these maybe. Regulator nut? Yes, PRV regulator nut. Okay. Now, this is a good one. I don't know if the camera will show it. Yeah, it will. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with that goddamn thing? And how many people have seen that? You can see it right here. Right? Right? So, that's split. It's cracked. No rhyme, no reason. Cracked. How many of you guys have seen this shit? This is of a Watts 25 AUB. Over-tightened metal into the female brass. Over-tightened. So we're going to get all the over-tightened, right? Okay? So, this would be a failure on a fitting because it cracked, right? Over-tightened. So, here's the question. How many people a lot of people have seen this, right? Over-tightened. Okay? So, this is a round item. Smooth. So, you have to use, that's the plumber's crack. It is. So, over-tightened. Everybody says it's over-tightened? How old do you think this is? Someone's trying to hack my Apple ID right now because they're trying to crack my password. How old is this? Just curious. What's a reasonable time frame? So this cracked at 3 in the morning on the guy. He heard the water flowing. Psh, heard a hissing. He's like, what the hell's that noise? 4 years? We'll keep it going a little bit. Let everybody kind of chime in a bit. How old do you think this is? How old do you think this little thimble is? And then, so, okay, if it's 5 years, 30 days, we got a couple different answers. So this thing just split because it's over tightened, right? Just cracked. You can see the crack right there and the water's flying out of it. Yeah? So, is this a warranty defect? This was installed in 1993. Okay? A week. 1993 this goddamn thing was installed. So, why now? Why not a year? Why not 3 days? Right? So this thing is like 1993. Like I was in high school, for God's sake. I started high school. Holy shit. Really? So 24 years later, this thing pops. No warranty. Well, I know there's no warranty. Is this a factory flaw? And then here's my riddle. I got a crystal ball, if you can believe it. I know you might not realize I'm a bit of a smartass. I drive around with a crystal ball in my van because when someone asks me, because you know the client's gonna, why did it break now? Why all of a sudden would this thing break at 3 in the morning, 20 years past, right? I've had these break in a month. No, the pressure's constant. It's 150 psi. You can't stop. And the pounds per square inch on this, if it was pounds per square inch, where the water actually touches it, there's not even a square inch of surface area inside of the assembly. Where the water actually touches the inside of the thimble, thermal expansion, it's in a closet, there's no reason. Like say, I do the Rubik's Cube, right? Every scenario that's coming, I've already thought of it, right? Right? So they never asked for warranty, right? They didn't. But I'm like, it just brings up a couple of interesting questions. It's a manufacturer's product. So you look at it, and I've seen lots of these Watts. I've seen them fail on me, and they're all the same. Now, this is an Apollo brand, right? God wanted it broken now. Yeah, well, when you don't have a logical explanation, that's where you turn to. Somebody in the sky, some guy. China. Well, this one was in China, right? These fittings were not, right? It was the union before the regulator, right? So even still, at 150 psi, we're not talking steam pressure here. We're not talking a crazy amount of pressure, right? So I've seen this. I've seen them go in a month, and everybody says you over tightened it. That's the first thing. I'm like, well, you got to tighten it enough so it doesn't leak. The thing I don't like about these these nuts as well, they're smooth. So you got a set of Cobras on there, a pipe wrench. Now these are two different brands, two different thicknesses. And you can see that online, right? But there's the differential on the height. And then when you put them together, there's the differential on the thimble. I couldn't even refit out just the piece. So it wasn't that they asked for warranty. I'm like, the guy's an industrial steel fitter, so he certainly understands everything. He's like, just change it. And I'm like, I couldn't get just the piece. This is the only problem with it, right? Our pressure is 150 psi in our community. Actually, in my community where I live, in 20 minutes south, it's 150. And that's to meet provincial fire regulations. You can bump the pressure in the street so that you can have a smaller water line and you're able to deliver more fire flow. Dezinkification? No, that's not dezinkification. That is oxidization, and it's condensation because it's a cold water line. You go into a copper house, you look up in the ceiling, I tell my guys this all the time, you can tell by the color of the piping which one's a cold line and which one's the hot line. Because the water on the copper oxidizes it and it turns it black. And the hot water line does not have condensation on it, there is no moisture on it, and then it doesn't corrode the pipe, it oxidizes the pipe. The water attacks the copper. That's why it's color. And this one's brand new. That's why. So if we were to leave these both out in the environment, over time, the copper inside of the brass will make it turn color. That's why the color changes. Everybody writing this shit down? Okay, so that covers that. So like say warranty's a big one. Now let's pick a pain in the ass company to deal with. I'm sure everybody's had them. You know you got a legitimate warranty on your hands. You call. Someone's I don't want to say a dick on the internet feed, but someone's a dick on the phone. And they say, no, they're not going to cover your warranty. Or they make you hop through so many hoops, you're like, it's not worth it. My time is worth more than the product, so just toss it out. They ask you questions you cannot answer. And everybody's got one, I'm sure. What's a story? What's not a story, because you don't want to type a book online, but what's an example of a company that's jacked you around where you know it's warranty and they won't do it? Now, I'm not talking stupid shit like you drop a Makita drill in the tub full of water and you take it back to the guy and you're like, I didn't do it. They've got little water tabs inside of most of the tools that are made. When they pull it open, if that water tab has changed color, they know that you got it wet. So be reasonable, right? Like guys, I see guys that do stuff, and when I bring a tool in where I'm like, yeah, I knew it. I wrecked it. I'll pay for it. And they'll warranty it. And they'll tell me straight up, I'm like, I dropped it in a bathtub, and I'm like, pull it out, stop working. Can we replace the motor? And they're like, they just give me a new drill. I buy quite a bit of stuff, so they're usually somewhat forgiving with me. But I do see guys hag on stuff where they're like, it just broke. And I look at the tool and I'm like, well, the plastic's melted, so you must have held the trigger on this thing till you fried it. And I've done that, right? You see a drill's going, you're like, might as well run her into the ground, right? And you just kill it. So warranty's a reasonable item, right? I think probably the most difficult company that I've had to deal with warranty-wise, to get a brand new product. Like it's never worked from the day I put it in. Like I install it, it doesn't work, and then I got problems. It's probably Bosch, ironically. Bosch. I've tried. I've called 3 times. Laundry day. Nah, it's hot up in Canada right now. The sun's out and we're cooking. Wait, you don't like my? I'm covered up. I got my hillbilly clothes on today. Laundry day, Brad. Jesus, mother. Somebody got to be one comedian on the site. Bosch, I called 3 times on this one unit heater. That was propane. The guy, because of where we are, it was in the bush. So I couldn't physically be on the phone at the residence and talking to him. Right? Well, yeah, because it's cold in my office. Here's the other thing. I'm in the basement of my house and there's a concrete floor. I'm freezing my ass off down here. Yep, cold as a mother, because I'm in the basement level of the house, so it's like freezing down here. That's why the beanie's on, because I'm freezing. Anyway, I can switch out to a hat, but... So, called Bosch, and the lady on the phone says to me, are you at the residence? I'm like, no. She goes, okay, are you in front of the unit? Are you in front of... Yeah, tankless heater. And she's like, are you in front of the unit? I'm like, yes. She goes, is it installed at the residence? I'm like, no. She goes, how's it firing? I'm like, I have it bench tested, hooked up at my house with a garden hose and a pressure regulator off of the client brought it in. And I'm like, I have a bench tested. I said, I can't keep the pilot lit. And I said, I've got water pressure hit to the unit. I've got a garden hose on it so that I can mimic flow to try and fire it up. Wouldn't fire. Thermocouple. Wouldn't hold the pilot in. Standing pilot, old unit. Or brand new unit, brand new. Old style, standing pilot, because it's propane unit. So I'm like, and the lady could not bend her head around the fact that I was standing in front of the unit and it wasn't installed. And I'm like, did you do the original install? No. It. I said to her at one point in the conversation, am I talking to Dr. Seuss? Because I went around in a circle, and I'm like, and talk about being pissed off. I'm like, it's a $50 part. The client bought this brand new. They dropped it off at my house because they have no internet and they have no phone service in the bush where they are in their cabin. Right? I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, we went around in circles. I was so mad by the time I got off the phone with her. I'm like, so then I pushed her to my secretary. What was the gas pressure? And I'm a certified boiler contractor. I got combustion control analysis equipment, fluke test gear. I'm like, we test the shit out of our stuff. I couldn't get that running through its paces, and I'm like, oh, God. And this lady on the phone, I couldn't get past this lady to get to the next stage. I put my secretary onto it, Laura, and she is tenacious. She went at her. And I said, I'm like, when I get people that are so difficult, because it was like, it's a $50 part. I couldn't sort it. They wouldn't. I was short of buying the part, and I said to the guy, I'm like, you know what? I've tried. I took a video of Laura on the phone with her, and Laura was same thing. She had to go take a walk. She was so frustrated, and I'm like, is that what you want to be known for as your customer service? Right? I'll default back to these guys again. Maddening, fucking frustrating. So American Standard, call up, flush tower off an American Standard champion. Make a phone call. I'm like, they know their flush towers suck. More moving parts and linkages and a little grippy thing. Make a phone call with the serial number inside the toilet tank. There's a date stamp. I got a 10-year warranty on the flush tower and American Standard Champion. Now, and fair enough, these things are what? $100? Not even. $100 for a full flush tower inside of a Champion. There's a 2-piece model or there's a 1-piece model. I called up some serial numbers. They're like, they mailed me a bunch. Effortless. As tradesmen, what do we want? We're $100 an hour-ish minimum, guys, all the stuff. Your company pays you, they charge you out at $100 an hour, $150 an hour in that ratio. Do you want to spend 2 hours on the phone? I know. I'm going to say, when I call up sometimes, because I know the companies, Kohler, these people want to deal with you direct. I say I'm the homeowner. I'll say the person's name, just to simplify it. Right? The Champion toilets, in my opinion, are the best toilets I've ever used. I got 4 of them in my house. Right? So I will fib to the guy and I'll have the shit mailed to me. Right? So, support service. I mean, look at Navien. There's another one. Yeah, they're dickies. I just bought these. They were like $30. And they're the full deal, right? I'm like, yeah, I like these overalls. You want painless, man. Hi from Ireland. Sweet. You want painless when you go in and deal with this stuff. We're installing some expensive product and you want it to last a long time. Right? That's the key. Yeah, I get the makes or breaks thing. Look at Navien. Navien boilers. Right? 17 golf balls. I know, the Champion. Crazy. And you look at Kohler. Ugh, Kohler makes a good product. Yeah, Navien. I'm like, I've ordered stuff. Like, if I order something today, got a problem, tomorrow afternoon, it's at my house from Irving, California. I'm like, wow. Go through once they figure out, they'll talk to you, ask you some questions, make sure you're not an idiot. Is the power on? Gas turned on? Ireland. Nice. We got some people from around the globe. That's pretty cool. And tech support for guys like, and same thing in Ireland. You buy a product, you charge someone $2,000 to put something in, and it breaks. Right? The Kohler Power Flush toilets, can't remember what the hell the name of them are, but we put a bunch of those in. You pull the trigger on that thing and it, boom! Shit's flying, literally. You're like, man, right? Brizo. Yes, I've heard of Brizo. Yep. Royal Plumbing Group. I'd say it's a challenging one. We've done both. Here's what I do. I bring my staff into the office. Right? So we'll do a job, get $20,000. And I'll bring them into the office and I'll be like, okay, because your staff think you fucking kill it. You make more money than God. You're driving a brand new truck, blah, 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 blah. Right? I bring them into the office, I show them the books. I'm like, hey, on that $20,000 job, I tell my staff this all the time. You need to come in, right? I'm like, here's the perks I get from being a company owner. I get a free truck. It's not free. I work for it. My truck is paid for out of the company. My phone's paid for out of the company. My fuel is paid for out of the company. And all the fuel out of the guy's stuff and all those trucks are all paid for. Well, that's a business expense that I get. So if I drive to the grocery store in my truck, it's a company expense because we don't split hairs like that. That works out. That's what I get, right? We bring in, and I show the staff what the overhead is. You know, when somebody fucks up something, they drop something, right? I'm like, who pays for that? Does God pay for that? That $1,000 water heater you just dropped and dented that we can't sell, right? Is that faith and goodwill pays for it? No, comes out of my end. We try to win more than we lose, and that's where that warranty aspect comes in, and your honor, your integrity, and shit like that. So it's not a fine line to draw. You either are or you are not. And that's quite, it's quite honestly, it's that simple. Manufacturer's warranty does a good thing, right? So we show our guys, right? Service agreements or memberships. Yeah, you got to eat. What do you do when your staff chunk you up something? You can't charge them for it. I tell my staff the same thing I tell all my clients. I expect you to be a human being. If does a staff member intentionally wreck something? No, they don't. But I also expect a staff member to be a human being. You cave the back of the van in because you're a dumbass. I'm like, do we just walk over? Like, you're going to get fired, right? You eat it. What are you going to do? You're going to call the manufacturer up and say, we see it all the time where guys bring shit back. The toilet came broken. No, it didn't. Your guy dropped the toilet on site and you're trying to back charge them, right? You're trying to do that the other direction. And I get it because nobody wants to pay for a mistake, right? But at the end of the day, that's where showing your guys, like where the question came in, do we get paid in front of the clients, right? So, well, Johnny, we're not in the States, actually. I'm in Canada. We do use copper bending machines here. We use REMs. Johnny, where are you out of? Shit happens. Exactly. In plumbing, when my guys make a mistake, when they make a mistake on a water system, a drip, it floods. When an electrician makes a mistake, it goes poof, it blows up, the thing doesn't work anymore. Pretty easy to see that. Our shit gets buried in behind a wall. That's why test. Right? The one requirement we obviously have when hiring, I talk to the guy. Right? I talk to the guy. You got a kind heart, I could teach a chimpanzee to be a plumber. Did I just say that? I could teach a monkey to be a plumber. You can. You can teach someone that has no mechanical ability, and you can train that person. You can grab a guy with no common sense, and you can teach him to be anything. It doesn't matter, plumber, right? You can teach someone to do your craft. I mean, I'm not gonna the whole monkey thing works out because everybody's got that in their head. But here's the deal: I can't make you a fucking nice person. If you're an asshole from the start, you're gonna be an asshole forever. And if you're not happy, right? Common sense. Yeah, common sense is a little bit key, but again, I can teach that, right? I can't make you a nice person. If you're an asshole, right? I do a 3-month trial for guys. I've had guys 2 weeks, and I've called the apprenticeship board. I'm like, get this guy. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy's a fucking moron. There's no way. I've had trained, certified Red Seal guys that come to work for me, and I'm like, I don't know what you're good at, because we do everything. So the attitude is the key. That's the one thing I look for, right? One thing that I look for. Like say, if you're a grumpy mother, I can't work with that. I can't make you happy. I can't change your life, right? I do. Look, Brad, you'll love this one. I'm sure everybody's got this card. I got the asshole card in my wallet. It's fucking huge. I don't want to bring it, but it's there, right? So leave it in the wallet if you can. There's a time that needs to come out, and usually when someone gets a little aggressive with me, that's when I bring it out. But for the core, I want to be able to have fun with my guys. We do a shitty job. We do a shitty job sometimes. There's no two ways about it. You go in a crawl space, been leaking for how long, right? Guess what we're doing? We're getting covered in shit today. You know why? Because that's what we're doing. And it's like, little less lip service. Is it a shitty job? Yes, it is. Right? Yeah, the asshole card. I know everybody's got one, right? So, some guys just bring it every day, and I don't want to work with those guys because I don't need to be brain stressed about some guy. Another thing that I'm not fearful of, but the integrity, the honesty. I've had guys work for me where I'm like, whoa, stop, get back in the truck, I'm going to drive you home. And they're like, what? And I'm like, you're looking at this guy's house like you're going to steal shit, and that doesn't fly. No. I'm going to drop you off. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I said, the read that I'm getting from you is you're like casing the guy's house. We have security codes. We have access codes, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, the plumbers here have to be licensed. For sure we do. Right? You can't pull a permit without it. You can be a fly-by-night handyman guy. It is what it is. Right? Yeah, I've had guys work for me for like half a day. And I'm like, nope, we're done. I'm out. Right? Yeah. You want me to go down there? Yeah. Oh, fuck. Tell me. Right? Or, yeah, the other one I love is, yeah. I get told by people, they're like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, this just a shit-filled thing. And they're like, okay, we'll go get it done. Right? And I'm like, yeah. And I say to people this. I'm like, I understand my craft and my trade. And I'll go up to here. Right? Oh, it's not that long of an arm, but I'll go that deep inside of a pit doing what you got to do. But that doesn't mean that I jump in the shit. My bed's not made out of shit. I'm one of the cleanest person you'll meet. I shower 3-4 times a day sometimes. Right? I wear swim goggles. Right? Trust is a big one. Trust is a huge one. Right? Nope. We do not allow smoking at all. You smoke, you're fired. You get caught smoking dope, you are fired. You have a beer working through lunch, fired. Right? Fucking done. Right? Yeah. That's like some basics, right? I tell my guys, I'm like, we don't even have to talk about that. I understand the phone thing because we got guys with kids that work for me, shit like that, right? Yeah. And so I get it, like the accessibility. But I tell the guys, your old lady calls up and she's like, what you doing? We're fucking working is what we're doing. Stop bugging the guys. So I give my guys that shit, right? That kind of stuff. It drives me crazy. Your old lady's on Facebook. She texts you and she's like, hey, did you see this post? And you're like, what? We charge a lot of money for our service and what we do, right? Get your shit together. Keep focus and be on point. I tell my guys, I say this all the time. You're not going to invest in yourself. Neither am I. Right? Go. So, yeah. The wife thing. Yeah, I know. What are you doing? I'm like, it's called working. When I leave the house in the morning, sometimes I go for a 2-hour coffee because I own the company. I network every day, right? So, yeah. If you can get a pre-apprentice certificate from HBI, if you can get the phone caused the guy to lose a job at your shop, yes. Well, you think about it. Hey, man, we're like on a job, we're $2 a minute. Here, I'll use my sat phone because it looks really cool, right? And it's like, blah, 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 blah. You're talking about something, right? You do have to train your significant other. If you're gay, it's a man or a woman, calling a man or a woman, whatever. Train your significant other not to bother you at work, right? So, no, you're not alone. Jubilee, you got it going on. There's in the Boilermakers Union. You're on your phone, you're fired. You think, my guy the other day, I'm like, I stopped the machine. I was driving a skid steer, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, and I say this, and I say to the guys, I'm like, if I see you doing that again in that pit, you're fired. And I mean, I'll leave the fucking van where it is, leave the keys in it, and go. I'll catch you a cab, and you can go home. Get your tools out of the truck, and you're gone. Yeah. Yes. Okay, hold on a second. We got one guy. We got a question on the table. Grinder from Mom's house. I walked downstairs. The plumber sent me. Yeah. Yeah, you want to steal something, man. Okay, so we got Coleman Quate, drain machine. I have a lot of drain machine. You're a certified pre-apprentice. Life's a gamble. How old are you and where are you out of Life's a Gamble? Where are you working out of? Sat phone's kind of like those little fidget spinner things. It's just cool to swing this thing around, right? Yeah, there's a lot of serious stuff we deal with. I mean, you got shit-covered hands or shit-covered tools and you're working on someone's water supply. 29 New York City. You should be able to get a job pretty easy in New York City. If you can try to package onto a company with a bunch of guys, Life's a Gamble. I don't know your name, so we're going to call you Life's a Gamble. You should be able to get an apprenticeship pretty easy, I would think, in New York. There's got to be a lot of companies there. There's got to be some shit going down there. The challenging part is a lot of companies don't want to hire apprentices, right? You don't need tools. You don't need any tools. Show up. Show up with a good attitude. Show up early, Jason. Leave late, and fucking work your ass off, and you'll have a great career. You'll always be able to feed your family. You'll always have nice stuff. But invest in yourself. Your company, you invest in yourself. You show you're a hard worker. That company will work with you, right? Done. Knowledge is key. Be the smartest guy in the room. Don't be an arrogant prick. Just be smart. Be good at what you do. And I tell my guys, hustle. You get paid to work. We don't get paid to talk on our phone. We drive around a lot, so there's a lot of ass time, and we call it ass time, sitting in a van. It's my van, my gas, my insurance, my everything, right? All you gotta fucking do is show up, and I will teach you to be a master. Rigid is the best. Learn every day. Some days I don't learn every day. You do repetitive menial shit. We're changing out 400 water heaters. I don't need to know how to do another water heater, right? Yeah. I go to school every day. I do. I don't learn every day, but I go to school every day. Yeah, for sure I still learn. I take courses. I don't read a lot of books, but I read some shit, right? Get certified in everything. Get every ticket you can. I mean, here's the thing. If you're content doing what you're doing, if you're working for a maintenance shop and you got 400 buildings and you're running around like a jackass, giving her shit going on, jackrabbit, you're bouncing all over the place, you got lots of stuff going on, you can do that for 20 years and be content because it's something different. For me, I don't like repetition. I don't like doing the same thing over and over and over again. I like variety, right? So to be certified in everything is challenging because here's the problem. B. Grimm 78. Here's the challenge. I'm certified and I've got 2 red seals in 2 different trades. And I do like 4 different things. You gotta have all the different tools to do all this shit. And it's expensive, right? It's expensive to store it, you know? So Calvin Hobbes is the best. Yeah. My son's named Calvin after Calvin Hobbes. So that's warranty. What else we got? That's warranty. Ethics of the trade. You know, we got a question on the table. The guy in New York City. I can't imagine in New York City you wouldn't be able to pick a trade up. But again, invest in yourself. I tell my guys, if you're not prepared to invest in you, neither am I. Because it takes a lot of brain power for me to deal with window lickers that don't know what's going on. And you got to teach them. Yeah. Yep. Make that money. My truck doesn't run on faith and goodwill. Unfortunately, I sure wish it did. I'd do the work for free if I could, but philanthropy mechanical, I'd call it, and just go do work for nothing. Because you could, right? So, yeah. There you go. See? True North Mechanical. Plumber, sprinkler fitter, gas 2, boiler tech. Yeah. No, I know. Too nice of a boss. Nope. You gotta stiffen up a little bit. Window lickers. Yeah, I thought somebody'd like that. Why is 3-inch soil there? We use noise. How's the money? The money's fucking awesome. Well, I make awesome money, right? But yeah. Do you charge trip charge just to show up? Yes, we do. We don't fucking drive to the house for nothing. Bud Light and stripper glitter. Yeah. Yeah, I make more than my doctor. I'm okay in the trade. I do quite well. You strayed away because you didn't believe? That's no problem, right? Omar? Yeah. Yeah, I make more than most people in the community I live in, but I work hard, right? I mean, you know, at some point you crest over and you get paid for what you know, not for what you do. I'll show up and command a job as opposed to working on the job, right? So, yeah, Jaden, quit. You've been working for the same company 2 years, you're not signed up, quit, walk away. If you're a valued employee, they're going to kiss your ass. What they've made you probably think is that you're the expendable and fuck off. I'm like, nope. You're up 2 years. All your hours will count. All your timesheet stuff will go. Jaden, if you can find a company in your area, you got to have a little chat with your boss. You walk in, and the problem is you're like, yeah, you know, because you think you're not valuable, you think you're not worth it, or wherever you're at in your 2-year program. If you're 2 years into your into it, and you're like quit. I'd quit tomorrow. Nope. No. You do side jobs in our company? Fired. No side jobs. Yeah, if you're working 2 years, right? If you're working 2 years for a company, they're using you as a labor. Get shined up, right? You know, shindigs if you're in Portland. I don't know where Jay's out of, but dude, 2 years, right? So 3-inch for foul water. We were about an answer. Hold on, I don't understand what that question is. Does it help more when you're certified pre-apprentice? No, it doesn't, right? We got thinner. My soldering is amazing. Why do you use 3-inch for foul water? We're about to answer. 3-inch cast iron, it's quiet. 3-inch is silent pipe. That's why we use that. I use cast iron vertical stacks so there's no noise in the residential stuff, right? So I got nothing wrong with corporate companies. There's huge companies. They got a lot of bankroll. People hire a name because of the reputation behind it. I've never been a big guy, right, like that. So average salary for a plumber in our country is probably about $100,000 a year. You use 4-inch. We have to use 4-inch after the 3rd toilet connection, right? Yeah. Same with Dever Rules. Your company, if they only care about that, same thing. Walk away. You got to remember too, right? Show up early, go home late, kill it, right? So yeah, unlicensed stiffs. I mean, you get what you pay for. That stuff, it'll weed out, right? Small company, I think here's the thing, Eric. So we got Eric another question. We got a bunch of questions, right? So Eric asked a question. He's like, what's the best to start? Small company, big company. You get a small company with 2 guys, but you got like a wizard owner that'll teach you. That'll like, say he doesn't have a son and you're the son that he never had. That guy's gonna teach the shit out of you. You got a company with 30 guys and you got like an A-class gas fitter. You got a master plumber on one side. You got a master sprinkler fitter. You got a master irrigation guy. And if you can take six months and go and mentor each of those guys, wash their tools, clean the truck, listen with your eyes, speak with your ears. Like, don't say shit and go, right? So be sponges, Yeah, that's what I've been told, Jaden. Rough and hose myself. I can mostly do what a licensed guy can. But here's the other thing, right? Here's what guys say. Licenses don't mean anything. Really. Licenses don't mean anything. Because I get told that, right? Just a piece of paper. These are my red seals. Those cards that are in my wallet. These guys. Those are my apprenticeship cards and my wallet cards. Here's my Gas Safety Authority cards. There's one. There's another 2. Here's my 5 cards that I roll with. You can't pull a permit without these. You can't work without. You can work without these. You're going to make $30 an hour, which is great money for somebody. But you can't pull permits without these. You can't file any paperwork without these. I make good money because I have these. These are worth money. This is what you want, right? And that's this God's simple truth. You can spin it any way you want. You don't need to be certified. No, you don't. You don't. But you want to pull a permit. You want to stand beside me, and you're going to call yourself a master tradesman. You better have a set of these like I've got, right? That's about the way we go. So, my son's coming up, Jubilee. My son's coming up, and he's yeah. So the apprenticeship is key. Tickets are crucial, right? So, yeah. 8 guys, 4 are licensed, and the rest don't have anything. They're good, but they hold up my apprenticeship. Yay! They do. They're going to hold up your apprenticeship. Here's the thing. If you're working 2 years for a guy and he hasn't signed you up, you're a laborer. Cut and dry. That's it. You might be an expensive laborer because you're starting to get better, but you need the training behind all of it. And you could have these and be an idiot too. I've seen certified guys where I'm like, whoa, you suck. Like, God, good. And I've told workers that have worked for me, maybe this isn't your thing. Maybe you need to go maybe you need to go do something else. This is not your, this is not your chosen profession. Because, it's sort of sad to say that to somebody, but I mean, just because you're certified doesn't mean you're good. And I've seen that as well, right? So there's some truth to the fact that, you don't need a ticket. Well, if you're doing gas work, you sure as shit do. That whole thing. So, yeah. I drive I got 4 cars, so it's a car. 2 vans, and yeah. This is can I send my WhatsApp? Coleman Quate, yes you can, but private message it. We don't have license cards. Once qualified, yep, we do. What do you think of College of Trades? Go, man. $14 an hour, and everyone else can't even do what I can to make 20. See, here's the thing. Without the trade papers, the trade paper is going to give you leverage. When you get certified, it comes up, right? Comes up. Your money goes up because you're worth more. So that's like a $14 an hour for Jaden. At 2 years in, obviously I'm not there, right? So I can't see how you work and stuff like that. But if you're 2 years working in and you're making $14 an hour, it's like go up. Quite honestly, yeah. Look at Gordon bought plumbing. Gord out of Toronto. He was telling us same kind of thing in the feed like this, and I'm like, dude, you need to get another job. He quit because of the banter on the forum like this. He pinned it, right? What do we got here? We got NRM. At what point do you decide to go off on your own? Because I hate my job, and I'm confident you can make it in the industry. What's holding me back is the guaranteed check every week. Well, NRM, isn't that the riddle? In university and high school, scared and running for me was the best way to go. It's like deciding you'll have a kid when you have enough money. Guess what? You're never going to have a kid because you're never going to have enough money. And ironically, if you have a kid, you make it work. So when's a good time to go start your own company? Tuesday. If you can do it better than everybody, you got to remember, what are you bringing to the table? Are you going to do the same job as everybody else? Are you going to do it faster? Yeah, I got 2 kids and a wife. Scared and running for me, I'm like, get it done. When's a good time to start a company? Tuesday. Right? Make it happen. Get yourself a company name, register yourself, right? Bam! Right? You wait till you can afford it, guess what? You'll be working for the same guy. Right? Yeah, it's true. Bruno, how you doing? It is the analogy with kids. Anybody that's got kids knows the same thing. You know, you hear that statistic. How many? I love it. Hey, Australia, what up? Kids cost like $1.6 million to raise. I'm like, yeah, they do. I got 2 of them. Holy shit, $3.2 million. There's no way I can make that much money. Right? No, Monday's a holiday. Don't quit Monday. Christ. Yeah, get hungry and go. Scared and moving is about the only way I seem to do really well. Behind the 8 ball is when I do my best work under stress. Get it done. Yeah. The guaranteed check, you know what? If you're good at what you do, you don't have to worry about that. Right? You know, and Jubilee, same thing. Bam, 5 years so far, but struggling a bit, slow. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. Think about it. Well, say, slow times. You know what? You get some slow times, that's when you clean your truck out. Don't spend all your money. Keep a little bit. Right? Because you never know where your next paycheck's coming from. That's true. Build a good reputation, people are going to use you. Do quality work, people are going to use you. Overcharge people, fuck people over, and don't do quality work. Why, you can rest assured one thing, you won't make a year. Right? What are you going to offer that's not different than somebody else? But don't undercut the next guy too. You're working for your boss right now, he charges $150 an hour. You're like, oh, I'm going to come out at 120. You're going to see very quickly why your boss charges $150 an hour. And that's an example. Don't go off on me, right? Yeah. You'll see. The vans, the cost, right? Repeat customers. You want to be able to go out for dinner with some of your customers, right? Yeah. We use a 3-inch stacked atmosphere finner. We got a finner Irish boy on there. We use a 3-inch vent stack in our district in Canada. You have to have a 3-inch vent stack the whole way out, and it's because of hydrojetting in the street. 2-inch, 1.5 is adequate to vent a house. All your fixtures will work on 1.5. They bump it up 1 inch. It used to read in the code book, which it still is. You have to bump it 1 inch, but they don't make 2.5-inch pipes. So we have to go 3-inch vent through the roof for frost closure. They always let us get away with 2-inch. No longer. Now they require a 3-inch vent stack all the way through the house. So you're building a new residence now, you have to go 3-inch vent stack out, right? So, no, $225 an hour, no. Vent stack is in PVC. No, we use ABS here. We use acrylon, nitrile, butadiene, styrene, which is ABS. It's got yellow glue. Everybody thinks we use CPVC glue. We do not. ABS piping is the standard out here. PVC, the problem, one of the reasons why we don't use PVC in Canada, it freezes. And you can't install drain lines in the winter because PVC glue freezes it. Throw it away. It turns jelly. You can glue ABS in -40. You can do it roughing in the winter. It sucks. Then you do an air test on the system. But yeah. That's why. Bam! $225 an hour, Michael. Whoo! Yeah, you do some side work there, right? Do you do any trade work? Maintenance on a pizza place. I've been going since I was a kid. Never charged him, but never pay for my food. Yeah, we got stuff like that. Polyvinyl chloride and chlorinated polyvinyl chloride. Yeah, if we want to do acronym shout out, we can. Tankless isn't bad. It has to be gas, right? We're not going to get into the acronym game. I'm not the guy that you want to do code challenges with. But anyway, I do a lot of trade work. NRM. We did movie work for years at our local movie theater. I would go in and, and we're talking disgusting shit like clean urinals. So we did lots of trade work. My kids had their birthday parties at the movie theater. When Star Wars came out, there'd be me, my daughter, my son, and my wife. So Star Wars comes out at 7 o'clock on a Friday, 3 o'clock on a Friday. I'd be sitting in a theater with my wife and kids, 4 people in the whole theater, by ourselves, watching Star Wars. Name the movie, I've seen it, right? So that perk, pretty cool. Everybody needs a good plumber, so we get lots of stuff like that, right? So, yeah, Southern California. Yeah, go Ducks. You guys better get your shit together, right? You didn't know anything about the ABS glue and freezing ability. Well, Brad, we're just here to educate, aren't we? Everybody chirps at us and says that we're using, right? See you, Canada. Yep. 6 a.m. here. Get your shit together. Yep. Yeah, no, it's we do lots of trade stuff like that. All of my stickers and stuff, right? The guy that does these sticker printing, he does the printing for the Vancouver Canucks. So I've done his work for years, and he still does the stupid little shit for us, like our banner, right? This thing. You know, who gets a banner printed up for Instagram? Me, right? Bam. You know, and all my stickers and stuff that I get printed. You know, if I want to get I've made 2 shirts, right? So that trade work is super key. It's a perk of work, right? You do a favor for a guy that doesn't take you anything, you know, change out a boiler, whatever, you know, stuff that's easy for us. People have a hard time with it. You know, they can't solder, they don't have a torch, they got whatever. They don't have any of that stuff. So it's easy for us, right? You know, the trade is key. You have to like what you're doing too. If you hate going to work every day, do something different, right? Yeah. You can take your trade anywhere. That's one beautiful thing. If you don't drink water, you die. If you don't take a shit, you die. People can live without electricity, but they can't live without water. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Asty Johns, I get it. And you get Cavalera stuff, right? Like, say, with printing stuff like that. Like, I'll make something printing and I'll do a trade for a guy, right? And I'll call up and be like, hey, I need to get this made. No problem. They will put the schedule offline. A guy will stay late for me and print 2 things for me. So there's certain perks as a quality and valued tradesperson. You own the equipment. You can do something that other people can't do. I'm multiverse. I've got lots of mechanical tools. We do brakes. Yeah, the electricians, we got to poke those guys always a little bit. But like say, being a plumtrician, our fields collide all the time. Welding, stuff like that, right? Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? You make more money as a plumber than you do a mechanical engineer. I was in university for mechanical engineering, and I drank my way out of it, right? You have to love what you do, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Your friend with a friend is single alone. He wants to redo his bathroom. Corn. That kind of stuff there. I would do that job just because it's fucking cool. Right? It'd be like James Hetfield calling saying, hey man, Turbo, you've been to my concerts. Love you like a brother. I only trust you in my house. Go. Do it. Right? How are the mountains looking snow cap? Dude, the mountains are always awesome here. There's lots of snow here. There's a shitload. So it's pretty dope. I think we banged it off, man. We covered warranty, we covered ethics, we covered some apprenticeship shit on there. I got a minute 51. Bragging rights, we work in some multi-billionaire's house. You can't take pictures in it, so ain't no bragging rights in that. But I know I work with, we work in a $50 million house. We're one of the only contractors allowed in the house. So, that's for us, bragging rights. It's just a mental thing, I think, for me, ego and little pillow fluffing, which is a good thing. So even looking like this, you can still get work. Right? So let your reputation resound and it'll work for you. So I think we covered it all. I got a minute 23. Y'all got any more stuff you want to get off your chest? Mine's open, so ask away. And then we'll figure out what we're talking next week because we're going around the world, right? So, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. That's my quick little shout out. For me, it keeps the trade fresh. I mean, like say, I could go put water heaters in on the weekend or some bullshit, but that's just not fun anymore and I'd rather not do it. I got my own stuff to do, right? So thanks everybody for the time, right? So you guys, peace out. Thank you very much. It's an interesting thing. The Instagram thing for me is a little bit of revitalization, right? So keeps it different. And then I get to give back, right? So, yeah. It's definitely real talk, no bullshit here. So everybody peace out. 40 seconds left. And Ryan, thank you as always, right? For the little doingler. So get back to work, everybody. Dublin, Ireland. Peace out, brother. That's pretty cool. Going to come across the pond one day. We'll probably go to Ish in a couple of years. So we're going to do an Instagram party. Bunch of shout out to a lot of different tradespeople. We're going to figure somewhere to go. Maybe Chicago HR next year. And we'll do a big thing. So we're going to give a bunch of free hats away. And I mean a bunch of free hats. Check this shit out. There's literally, they're stacked up in the shop, man. We're going to be